Oh, what up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash, coming back to Real Takes. Today I'll be doing a review to Black Lightning, Season 2, Episode 3, Master Lowry. Now, for this particular episode, this one had a lot into this. It was jam-packed. Now, the way the episode starts off, you see a situation where a woman who's being held because she has green light has found a way out of her restraints and whatever, and out of a hospital, and she gets into a kind of confrontation of sorts with some fellow cops, trying to kind of work with her to get her to come back so she can be seen. I mean, to the point where she's lifting vehicles up, whichever. But of course, in the end, Black Lightning shows up and he's able to find a way to use his powers to basically sustain her and kind of, get control of the situation so the cops, are not in any way harmed or whichever, and he ends up taking her back, whichever. That was a good scene, whichever, because this, as I said from the beginning, first episode of the season, this is going to be a main basis of the show with this green light, this situation with this green light. And I'm looking forward to seeing more and more situations where it's impacting so many different people, whichever. It's almost like it's more of an epidemic in Freeland, whichever. That's kind of really starting to get out of hand. So honestly, I'm hoping from what they're trying to do, them trying to find an antidote, because again, we made that known in the previous season, how they can get it, get a copy of that where it's not spliced with anything with Black Lightning. He might be able to find a way to combat that stuff, if somebody isn't taking it like a teenager or whatever, so. But moving on now, most of this episode, you do see a scene, of course, with Tobias and Khalil, where he's basically letting him know you're going to step up in your duties now. Since Cyanide is no longer here, he's going to have to take care of what's considered the collection duties, meaning the particular people that Tobias gets money from, within the community. And one of them, I think, has not been paying what he should be paying. So, of course, he gives them a visit. He doesn't really want to do it, but he has a give muscle, whatever. Now, for him, he shows up, whatever. And, of course, you have one guy talking smack, whatever. And he has to ham him up, knocks him down. The guy he's there to see tries to run away. So, by then, he darts him, something in his neck, which causes him to fall over top of a stairwell. And he instantly dies. Now, I don't really want to think that Khalil meant for him to die. But I think he's giving the impression to the guys that, okay, yeah, I did it, whatever. He walks out very calmly. But I feel like he's conflicted because that's not his true nature. That's not how he was raised, whichever. Him being around Tobias, it's almost like Tobias is trying to make him more colder, with no real feeling. Similar to how Cyanide was. So he can do these type of things and not have a worry about any sort of feelings whatsoever. He's not the same, sweet little guy giving a kiss to Jennifer up on the rooftop, wanting her to be his girl, whatever. Those days I feel like are almost over, but I feel there's still a glimmer of hope, hopefully, but it is what it is. Now, also with Jefferson, being that this is called Master Lowry, he finally does meet the new principal. As he's walking in, he sees them putting in the metal detectors, whatever. He goes and meet him, and let's just say he's not very inviting. He's a jerk. I don't care for this principal, but I know this is the overall premise of the lesson that has to be taught to him, being that he wasn't there for what was going down in season 3, around the last episode to second to last episode, with the little showdown that happened within the Garfield High School. So basically he's there, and he's like, maybe you need to do, he says, well, if I do that, then I wouldn't have been here if you had done what you were supposed to do. And it was like, that's a low blow, like really like a straight uppercut when he made the comment. But he's right. It is the truth. As much as I hate to say it, but yes, but he was helping. Just can't say how he was helping and who he was when he was helping, but it is what it is. So we can already see he's going to be one of those type of jerks where I'm not here for it. So we're just going to have to just see how long it lasts. Because like I said before in my last review, I want to feel like some things are eventually going to pop off where, Jefferson can work back to getting his job as principal back. I don't feel like this is going to be forever. I feel like maybe the whole season, maybe going into season 3, he'll finally be professor again. Excuse me, you guys. So, but from that, yes. So, yes, he's a jerk. We already know what he's like. So, I hope they don't show him too often. But I have a feeling, being that, Jefferson is still a teacher there, he's going to have run-ins, whichever, and it's not going to be pretty. So, but moving on from that. Now, for Tobias, the thing I see what Tobias is doing, he wants to tie up certain loose ends. You see him, of course, meeting up, with a cop who, pulled a file for him. You see him meeting up with an old, guy who was one of his, little hench guys who helped in regards to killing Alvin Pierce, Jefferson's father, whichever, and he's just basically disposing of these individuals, whichever, getting the evidence, doing what he needs to do, whatever, smiling in their face, and then basically shooting them up and burning up vehicles. Now, the cop, he was, of course, a dirty cop. He, of course, is dealing with a situation where now Detective Henderson has come into it because he finds his vehicle has been burned to a crisp. And now he's needing to reach out to Jefferson to see if he can help him because he feels that Black Lightning could be a little bit more effective to figure out who did this. So eventually Jefferson does figure out who it was. It was some sort of arsonist, and he tells him he was told by some little teenage guy with some gloves on, being forced to do this. And of course he already puts two and two together. That's Khalil. So from there, of course, he has a confrontation with Khalil where he speaks to him and trying to get through to him because he goes to see his mother to kind of find out, if he knew anything, if she knows anything, whichever. And she really doesn't want anything to do with it because she can see the changes in her son. She's not happy with what she's seeing. But of course he checks on her because he's still concerned for his mother. He shows that glimmer of light like I feel. And that's when she gets a burner phone from him to keep in contact. And of course he eventually meets him and has a confrontation. He's like, stay away from my mother. If you don't, I'm going to find out whoever your family is and I'm going to kill them just like I killed you. Right then and there, Jefferson lights his little butt up, whatever and all that. He tries to throw a dart, but he grabs it with one of his little, lightning balls or whatever and all that. And it makes you wonder, I think it was all set up, like he did that to enrage him because he wanted him to do that because now he has a sample that he can give to Gambi as an antidote, which is probably going to be the best way. And I really hope somewhere along these episodes we will see him be able to use that and see if it's very effective, whichever. Now, for going back to Tobias, he, of course, like I said, is trying to tie up loose ends. And also in the midst of this, he does pay respects to his sister, who's been laid to rest, of course, and then Cyanide as well. Unbeknownst to him, Detective Henderson's there with just a group of cops, whatever. He says he got a tip. Now, my thing is this. I want to think it could be Khalil, but I feel like that's just too easy and clean right there. And then him being fearful for what he would do to him and maybe what he'd do to his mother or even the girl he loves or whichever. I don't think it's him. I'm trying my best to think of who I think it is. I have an idea. It might be considered far-fetched, but I just don't know. I'm just not sure. I gotta think on that one. I might bring that up in another review or whichever. But it's just right now there's no other people because he doesn't have that many people around him, honestly, that he could trust to even tell him where he's going. I don't know if even Khalil knew that's where he was going anyway. He's aware of stuff that's going on in the office that they work in, where he has stuff locked up, inside of a vault. But besides him knowing where his sister's body's laid to rest and cyanide, I don't know. I could be, off with that. But, anyway. So from there, he, of course, is handcuffed and taken to the precinct. Now, you do see a scene where Henderson comes to tell, Jefferson that he has been, arrested, whichever. And, of course, he's feeling like, all this time, is this, is it going to finally have my moment where he's going to pay for his crimes? He's gotten away for decades, whichever, he's having that moment where he's like, it's just kind of setting in, whichever. So for that one, we'll have to see how that pans out. Will he put the suit up? I seriously doubt that. We're just already in the beginning of the season. That's not happening. I already know that's not going to happen at all. Now for Anissa, she is in the midst of working on a new cause, as she did the first time within the first episode. She is trying to get money to help a clinic, whatever. So of course she goes through to where there's a drug deal happening and she takes the money. Unbeknownst, she's not doing it alone. She has Gambi because Gambi's like, okay, what are you up to, whatever and all that. And she's like, I don't want to tell you because you'll tell my father. He's like, I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to help you. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to eventually tell him what you're doing. So she uses him to help her get this money. Of course, it's a nice epic fight, little battle scene, with the dealers and her. And of course, Gambi shows up to help out, sniping when they're trying to come for her with a gun. And that was a good scene. I enjoyed that. So right now, her secret is safe, but we know Gambi doesn't want to keep any more lies, or secrets from Jefferson. So I feel like the next episode he's going to find out what she's been up to. But yeah, you can kind of see, like I said in the last episode, she's enjoying the fruits of her labor as Thunder, but then she's kind of taken above and beyond with certain parts. But then secondly, she's also not realizing some of the things she's doing. She has to be very careful. Yeah, you got your face and your mask on and you're delivering the money to, the pastor and all that, but then it's like you're taking risk. You can get hurt. And that's even the same things her father's told her many times. And even Gambi tries to let her know, you need to be careful. You're out here doing things, whatever. Because I feel like that's going to catch up with her down the season of this, this particular one. So I just don't know. Secondly, with her, this whole situation with her and Grace. Okay, you were supposed to be talking to Grace last season, season 1. You kind of were cool and all that. You were clicking, vibing. Then all of a sudden, she just fell off the radar. Then she's, of course, at an event with the girl, the singer Zoe, and she's kind of being a little, touchy-feely, a little kissing. And, of course, Grace is working on the job and catches her. And, of course, she eventually tries to go over and talk to him, but Grace is not here to hear it. It's like, you had plenty of time to talk to her, and I agree. I'm like this. You get with this girl, you see this girl, and then you forgot about the girl who's interested in you, that you were interested in yourself, just to get with her. And it's like, now you want to try to make it, find a way to get back into her good graces. I'm like, I'm not even here for that. I hate that crap. It doesn't matter what gender, male or female, when they do stuff like that. It's like, nah, keep it moving. I'm like, come on, Anissa, you should do better. Because full well if that was reversed, girlfriend wouldn't be down for that crap. You see how she did the other girl who was, not to say yes, clingy, but wasn't here for her with Grace, whatever and all, and she just pushed her to the curb. But here you are, trying to mess with someone, whatever and all, forgetting that it was somebody who actually was interested in you all along. Now you want to, find, a way to, amend. I feel like they're going to put them together. It's going to eventually happen, but they want to throw this little, little wrench into it. I don't get that, whatever. I really wish she never got with Zoe. They could have showed her just eventually meeting back up with Grace, whatever. Just like when Jennifer told her, you need to get out there. You're always doing this, but you don't give yourself a life, whatever. All she had to do was meet up with Grace and to apologize, whatever. And we could have moved forward, shown them maybe on a first date or something, But that's just my vent on that, whichever. But overall, it was a good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing also situation with Jennifer trying to figure out her powers. Of course, her meeting with a woman named Perenna, played by Erica Alexander. That was a good scene, even though she felt caught off guard. Who can blame her, trying to deal with the situation, this person who she doesn't really know, her parents trying to find someone for her to see, whatever, and not telling her. It's like, you don't let your child stumble onto somebody who knows your name. You're like, who is this person? What if she'd had a situation or an episode out and about, Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. And you can tell when she lashes out, her father has to check her for a minute, but then he's like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I never wanted this for you. And he hugs her and all that, and you just feel for her, because honestly, she never wanted this for herself. She would have never thought this would ever happen to her, that she hasn't really entertained the thought of, I just can't go on with my day-to-day life because I have these powers, and I just got to be careful in what I'm doing. I can't get too overheated or in a discussion, whatever, get too passionate, whatever, to the point where I could light something on fire. I could, touch somebody and be talking to them, whatever, and I'll get upset with them, and they touch me, whatever. Hence what happened with, with her mom in that instance. And that was definitely an accident, but you can be out and about doing matter then, because you could be hurting some random person and find yourself locked up. People know you have powers, whatever, poking and prodding, government's in there, all these little things. So, but yes, again, the episode was really good. I really enjoyed this, but like I said, it was a lot going on in this episode. Everybody's trying to get their time with their own storyline, whatever, and all that. So it was like a lot to process, whichever. But overall, I know what's going on. I understand each person's, dynamic storyline and their arc, so we can see what's going to be happening. But I'm looking forward to next episode, now that we know that Tobias has been, arrested, and I clearly want to see the confrontation within, the room where they sit them at, him and Detective Henderson. I want to see, hopefully in the next episode, they showcase, what's going to be the discussion. What does he have on him, to truly bring him in, even though he got the tip. Okay, you got the tip of him being there. What do you have to keep him? Because that's going to be the factor. What does he have to keep him locked up? Because he can't stay locked up forever. And now he's put himself out there by, arresting him. He has a target on himself. So, yeah, looking forward to see, episode 4, to see how that's going to be planned out. So, but with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what parts of this episode you all enjoyed. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next review. You guys take care.